Welcome back to I'm Just Game, Season 2, baby.
Where we serve real talk, queer joy, and all the tea in between.
This season, we're celebrating life, love, and everything fabulously in between.
Because this podcast, it's more than just a conversation.
It's a love letter to all of us. Let's get into it, baby.
Welcome back to I Am Just Game podcast, a love letter to all of us. In part 1, we explored Ultra Naté's powerful journey, her roots, her resilience, and the rhythm that became a global soundtrack for freedom and love. In this final chapter, Ultra Naté invites us deeper into her world, reflecting on legacy, creativity, and community, and the importance of self-care and health as acts of resistance and renewal. She reminds us that caring for ourselves is not selfish, but essential for sustaining the joy, artistry, and authenticity that fuels our lives. So, settle in, because this finale is more than a conversation. It's a celebration of spirit, sound, and self. Love that. So yeah, as you just mentioned, your presence around the world and your connection with the LGBT plus community. How do you see your role in holding space for people even outside of that community to feel free and loved?
Well, I just love people. And I think that's the first part of it is personality wise. Do you even really like people? And I've figured out a long time ago that I generally really, really like people. Like, it doesn't matter where I go. I talk to everybody. I immediately engage in conversations with any random person that's just open and chill and cool. Universally, it doesn't matter what walk of life they come from. You know what I mean? You could be a homeless person on the street, the janitor, or you could be a king. And I've met them all, and it's all the same for me. If you're cool and you're interesting and you're a loving person, I'm totally there. So I think that's the first thing is I genuinely love people and interacting with people. And I genuinely love making people happy, seeing people happy, and being a part of that story of bringing that moment of happiness to them. So I get great joy out of what I do, which is very important. Every time that I step on stage, I get the opportunity once again to bring joy to people. So I'm fortified because they are, it's reciprocal. The energy is reciprocal. I'm fortified as an artist and as a person because I'm receiving their energy and their frequency back. But what I'm putting out is engaging them and creating a moment for them because a lot of them have memories that are attached to many of my songs. Excuse me, and it takes people places, and that's a beautiful legacy to have as I continue to make music, but to have that incredible legacy with people that have grown up in the generations now. And then they come to my shows and they're like, I've been listening to you since I was 10 years old. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. Or their whole lives, at this point, I've been making records for 35 years. I've birthed some people. You know what I mean?
There's some 35-year-olds out there.
Yeah, for sure. And younger, actually, at some of my shows, especially in the UK and other places, or even at my Deep Sugar party, there are kids that come to the parties. I love to see them dance. I love to see them absorbed in this music culture that, has been such a defining part of my life. It's very gratifying for me. It's like the best job in the world. Even with all the bugaboos and the ups and the downs and the crazy moments that happen, it's the best job in the world to be able to sustain a good living off of your art, off your creativity, off of ideas and concepts that popped in your head that became fully realized pieces of art that then become something that belong to people, that gives them love or energy or empowerment, or that are a part of their story. Like that is something that you can't really quantify.
Right. Absolutely not. So yeah, speak to us a little bit about how Deep Sugar came about and like what that sort of means to you in terms of the imprint that you are leaving upon the world.
Well, first,
Yes.
I'm still bugging that it's 22 years. Like, I'm still kind of taken aback that we've done that because I'm so like autopilot, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And the time just went by, and I'm like, really? How did that just happen? Where did 22
Exactly.
years go? You know what I mean? But it started out myself and she's gone now since
Oh.
2021. Lisa Moody was one of my
Mm.
very best friends, like my sister.
Mm.
She did tour management for me. She's my son's godmother, so she was very much a part of my family in multiple ways and
Yeah.
in multiple layers in my life.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
we were fast friends. She was running around the world with me on my tours and stuff. And a lot of times at that point in the late 90s into the early 2000s, I started noticing here in Baltimore that the scene was shrinking immensely because it used to be really thriving here. We had clubs, multiple clubs to work with, especially from Odell's. We went to Fantasy. From Fantasy, we went to the Paradox. The Paradox was a 13,000 square foot warehouse club. Had three dedicated areas, two dedicated rooms with installed sound systems that were like massive, and a third area that could be done with installations and things like that. If we wanted to, take it outside, we could install sound on the outside area. So
mm,
it was a massive space, and we had many good nights there for 27 years. But even the nights at Paradox had changed. All of the house music events were gone. The club had gone a different direction in order to sustain itself, basically. Um, the generation of kids that would have come in behind us went into hip hop, and so there
Mm.
was this huge gap that hadn't been filled in, and the club was dying off. Other parties had cropped up, but they were starting to be in makeshift spaces, no longer in clubs that were actually dedicated to proper house.
mm-hmm.
Um, and so seeing that was starting to come together, the last straw here was one of my good friend, Donnie Berlin, was a great DJ from Baltimore. And his night got canceled at like what we felt like was the last bastion of hope in the city
Mm-hmm.
at a club that was called Red Maple, which was more like a lounge. So we had already kind of dialed it back to the point where we weren't even in a proper club anymore, but we were in like a really cool lounge we would go to, when I was home. Um, but they got it as far as the music. So the music was always great DJs and everything. But Donnie's night got canceled, and everyone in the house community here was incensed. It was about to be a riot in the street for the house community. Um, but instead of like complaining and going into a tizzy, I just felt like, you know what? We can't let our scene die. We gotta do something. And so I told Lisa and my other bestie at the time, Jonathan, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start a party, and it's gonna be called Sugar. And they were like,
Mm.
okay, great, all right, you know. Um, See, this is the power of confidence. You just be like, this is what we're gonna do. And then they just follow you and be like, all right, what are we gonna do? And you're like, I've got nothing to lose. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's how we approached it. We started with a happy hour at a small warehouse club called Sonar. And we started as a happy hour in their smaller room. Eventually, people started coming later and later and later because that's house heads for you. They're used to after hours. So,
Right.
the happy hour thing was like kind of crazy. So we'd start early in the evening. There'd be nobody there until like the last 2 hours, and then nobody wants to leave. So
Mhm.
eventually, we grew out of that space and grew into our next space and just started, continually trying to build it. We, hit the streets when I would come home from touring. I would be out in the streets with my team, you know, getting the word around, making sure we promote it to everyone because we always, with intention, wanted it to be a very diverse party. We wanted it to be very inclusive of everyone in the community because I had also noticed that a lot of the parties were starting to feel segregated in a way. Um,
Mhm.
And I wasn't feeling that at all. So I really wanted to make sure that Deep Sugar felt like Cheers, where everybody knows your name when you walk in and you instantly feel like family, where women could come by themselves and feel safe, where anyone queer from any walk of life, whatever your station in life, you would feel cool and great and embraced. Um, no matter who you were walking into that space. If you are into the music and you don't have hangups with all of the rest of the folks that are in here, then you're our tribe. And so that's how we built it. And we always promoted to a cross section of people to make sure it stayed fun and interesting like that. And that's how it's grown from there. And, somehow 22 years went by in that, and just building it further, doing it, being consistent in what the brand was, building it out further beyond Baltimore. I started doing it in Miami as a residency, doing it in DC as a residency, as you know, as you've been to multiple times, doing it in New York as a residency, and LA. So we were, building and expanding the footprint here domestically, but then I started also trying to expand it internationally. I'm doing it in Amsterdam for an Amsterdam dance event. And I've been doing that now for about 6 years. COVID year we missed, obviously, and then got back to it probably like a year or two after COVID was over. Um, and still working on, expanding into other places. I'm in conversations with different people in different places, possibly Toronto, London. I'm always chipping away at possible opportunities to continue to build the brand. But, it's all on my shoulders. I'm one little engine. And so I don't have like sponsorship and all the things. So it's really just been sustained by myself and a great crew of people who love and believe in it, who love me, believe in me, and want to continue to put this sound and this community and this kind of energy out there. And they just kind of dedicated themselves to being a part of that. And that's been how we've been able to continue it and make it grow.
That's amazing.
Right.
It's
We
like
love that.
really love, right? There's a lot of love in what you talk. There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I say to people all the time, like, I'm the figurehead, um, and the financier of everything, of course. But really, like, I don't ask anyone in my crew to do anything that I would not or have not done myself. So, you can speak to any one of my sound guys. Like, I will turn into Tool Time Tina in a minute and crawl up under a console. Crawl up under one old console, honey, and start rewiring some things. You know what I mean? Like, I've flyered cars in the middle of a snowstorm, all the things, I've just jumped off stage for like, 4 or 5,000 people, come home to Baltimore, throw on my cap, and we in the street, beating the street, getting the word out about our little party, our little labor of love. And I think that that's really, really important for if you want people to believe in you and believe in your dream and for your dream to become their dream, then they need to see that you are in the trenches with them. It's part of being a leader is that you have to be able to identify with everyone that's a part of your team and recognize everyone's strengths and weaknesses and know how to make that all work together. And I think that's been a large part of why a lot of people have been a part of this brand for many, many years, is that they know that I'm not the kind of person that's just going to sit back and be, the doll on the hill giving out orders. I also get my hands dirty, real easy with no problems about it.
And we love that.
We love that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get your hands dirty. You have to get your
Absolutely. Even though my nails are cute, I will still roll up my sleeves. I will roll up my sleeves in a heartbeat and turn into a whole different animal.
She's like, we'll figure
And
this nail thing out here. Let's go to this
yeah,
right
listen, let's get this done. What do we need to do? What's the problem? What's the solution? Let's talk solutions. We know what the problem is. Let's talk solutions. And that's how
Let's get
we've
her
approached it.
done.
Hmm.
now.
Yep. So here
Awesome.
we are 22 years later, and we're still thriving. And we evolved into the rooftop jam season party on the rooftop of the Lord Baltimore Hotel. And again, it still really all goes back to having an idea, having a concept, and then just stepping out in faith to bring
Yes.
it to life. You know what I mean? To fully actualize what it is that you're dreaming in that moment. A dream is
How
great,
often
but
do you guys
you've
come down to
gotta
Miami to
step
do
out.
it?
Yeah.
How often do you guys come down to Miami to do it? Because I'm in Miami, so
Are you okay? I just did it at Jolene Sound Room
you did.
in August.
But I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to
did
the
it on
club.
Thursday.
I'm going to the Hard Rock. I'm gonna see you at the Hard Rock, so I'll be there.
Yeah, I did it for my birthday.
Yeah.
I usually do the Deep Sugar party for my birthday in Miami, either right before WMC or during WMC because my birthday is March 20th. So that usually falls like right before WMC. It used to fall right in the middle, but they've kind of shifted the dates a little
Mhm.
bit. So I did it that week before Winter Music Conference this year at Jolene Sound Room, which is a really great venue, really beautiful venue. And it came off so beautifully there. And then I did it again in August, partnering with a brand that regularly happens at Jolene called Divorcee. So it was Divorcee versus Deep Sugar. And it was
Yes.
a very disco oriented party. And we had a blast. So I'll be working with them on a new date and
Mhm.
keep you posted. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it
Yeah.
posted so we can promote it. But you're gonna be in Hollywood coming up soon
Yes,
at the Hard
yes, I'll
Rock.
be in
So
Hollywood soon.
yeah, I'll be
I'm
there. I'll
doing
see you.
the Dance Now America tour, so it's myself and quite a few
Mhm.
other iconic artists from the best of the '90s music that you know and love.
Of
Um,
course.
and that's always fun, that's so easy because people are already like just in love with the nostalgia of things.
Right.
And I don't
Mhm.
mind it. Like it's a lot of fun to see people just like having a great time with music. It's sometimes like weird because you're considered like a legacy artist because you have a catalog of music that is synonymous with a specific decade. But I,
Mm.
I take it as as a badge of honor in a lot of ways because it so resonates with people in such a way still. um, and what a blessing that is because a lot of people work for years in the music business and never make a blip on the screen.
Right.
So I love doing those kinds of shows, and the crowds are always great because I know also on the other side of that coin, I've still been making music long beyond the '90s, and still continuing to make records. Um, for the new kids that are just finding out about me from yesterday, and that's
Right.
always happening. The more that technology does its thing and takes over and connects people and makes finding music more accessible, the easier it is for me to continue to cultivate new fan bases and new people.
That's
Of
so
course.
beautiful. So one of the things that we focus on is like self-care and, making sure that you're taking care of yourself and the community. What are some of
Hmm.
the rituals and or practices that you do for yourself to, replenish your cup because you give a lot. And
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot. I mean, that's like a whole other podcast episode
Mhm.
as well.
Hey, we'll have you back.
Part
It's
two.
a lot. It's a lot. Because this is not normal. What I do, my lifestyle is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. And so
Mhm.
you have to work a little bit harder to sustain yourself in order to stay, in good shape and in a good frame of mind and healthy. And for me, health is wellness. Remember, I was intending on being a doctor. So I kind of still uh, explore and research and investigate things in a way. All my friends call me Dr. White. So they've nicknamed me the street apothecary as well because, I'm very into like supplements and vitamins and biohacking and, gut health and like all the things. So if I were to go back into medicine, if I could just like flip a switch and suddenly be in medicine, I would totally be like a functional medicine doctor at this point. Because for me, it's about dealing with the whole person, dealing with the person holistically, and treating, not just the symptoms, but the actual condition of things, drilling down on what's happening in all the systems of the body as opposed to what that one specific ailment is and its symptoms or whatever. So for me, it's your nutrition is job one, because a lot of people don't realize that your gut is your brain. It's the main brain. The brain in your head is actually your secondary brain, but your gut microbiome form your first brain, because those bacteria in there actually communicate to this brain up here and tells it what to do, and all of the other things trickle down from what is happening with your gut microbiome. So the first thing that I'm always really, really conscientious of is to take care of my gut. By getting you want a very, very diverse flora of bacteria in there. The more diverse the culture is in there, the better off you are. So that's one thing. A lot of people don't realize that the gut is where all disease starts. So I take a battery of like, usual probiotics kind of stuff, but I also take certain things that keep everything like healthy and clean, that feed the good bacteria, get rid of the bad bacteria, and I try not to eat the things that are going to feed bad bacteria. So I try to eat organic as much as I can. I try to focus on eating clean. And what clean means is not a lot of oils and gravies and sauces and sugars and salt and all the things laden in your food. You clean is like strip it down and keep it whole as possible. So things that are singular, like, a chicken breast without a bunch of, stuff all over it, a sweet potato, your greens, very important. I try to get 35 grams of fiber in every day. I'm like a fiber hawk to people. As soon as they say something's not right, I'm like, how much fiber are you getting every day? You know what I mean? Like, are you taking, listen,
What are you doing?
protein
Fiber.
and fiber? I'm like, you're not getting enough protein and you're not getting enough fiber every day. People do not realize you need to eat at least half your body weight in grams of protein per day. Probably more than that, actually, if you want to lose weight, but at the very least to hold your muscle mass that much. Yeah. So whatever your body weight is a lot. It's probably a lot for most people. So, and it needs to be clean protein, and 35 to 40 grams of fiber every day is job one. And then everything else is like
I would love to
extra.
with you and your friends. You would be looking at them in the dinner like,
Oh yeah, I wear them out. I wear them out. It's not even funny. Like I wear them out.
Is good for your flora.
It's very that. I try not to be the food police though, and because you can suddenly become like the food police around people. So you gotta balance that out a little bit. But the problem is they all know me. So even if I don't say anything, they already feel convicted. They already feel convicted. So they start explaining right out the gate. Like,
I'm eating that fried chicken in front of you.
And they're like, yeah, I know what you're thinking.
I'm going to be eating that fried chicken in front of you, looking at you like, she's judging me right now.
Judging. Right. Immediately I'm judging, right? So there's that part. So, the gut bacteria is very, very important. The protein intake, the fiber intake every day is very important. I also believe heavily in taking vitamin D every day. Most people are vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's actually a hormone. And it is extremely important for like over 400 functions in the body. It's like really, really, really super important. Also magnesium. Most people are magnesium deficient, and magnesium is extremely important for a myriad of functions in the body. But people also don't realize that there are 6 different kinds of magnesium. And so you have to navigate that and make sure you're getting the right kinds of that as well. I'm a big
Let me
proponent
check that.
of
That's
omega
actually
3s.
deep thinking.
Get your list, Tabu. Get your list. You need your omega
That's actually
3s
deep
because
thinking.
that'll
I
keep you
love it.
young, youthful, and supple, darling. You got to stay
Right.
supple.
I'm like writing down these notes. I'm like, I need to check my vitamin D.
Exactly.
Vitamin D
Uh-huh.
deficiency.
And this is
You do need,
so so
that's what I'm
affirming
saying.
for me. You're like validating everything. Like, so I started this weight loss and nutrition journey probably back in May, and proud to say I've lost like 40 pounds so far.
Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
everything that you just mentioned, I'm hearing Nate, who is my trainer in nutrition, in my head saying, "See, I told you so."
You got vitamin D.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When
Because,
I'm
you know, with the thing people don't realize with fat, with obesity, that it's not just static. It's not just sitting there taking up space. It's metabolic and
Mhm.
it actually raises your mortality. So the more
Mm,
obese you are, the closer you are to death. So it's
Mhm.
vitally important to make sure that you're getting your body fat down, especially as we age. And you want to you want to keep your vitality and all of that because your hormones start switching off. You start losing testosterone by the time you hit mid 30s. You start losing estrogen. Everybody, this is everybody across the board, men and women lose both test and estrogen. And
mm,
it starts to change things. Your bones become more porous, which leaves room for injury. Um,
mm.
and you lose muscle mass. And the less muscle mass you have, the less vitality you have, and the more you start to age. So it's an anti aging thing as well to make sure you
Right.
keep your muscle mass up and your bone density through exercise and diet. Diet is 80% of how you end up looking. People don't realize that. You
Mm,
cannot
Right.
outtrain a bad diet. Can't
mm,
outtrain a bad diet. I'm a strong proponent of fitness, which was the other part of my journey, is that, you
mm,
know, I'm here. I'm going to hit the weights constantly. One, it keeps my brain
mm.
together. It's great for my stress levels, but also you can't outtrain the bad diet. So
Right.
what you do in the kitchen, bodies are made in the kitchen. Very, very important.
That's so awesome. Thank you for giving us that all that information. Because honestly, people need to hear it, and not a
Yeah.
lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, well, a lot of
Right.
people don't have information. You would be surprised
Right.
how many people I talk to every day that'll come to me and say, okay, listen, I need to sit down with you. And like I could have a whole side business right now if I
Right. I was
wanted
just
to.
about to say that. I'm like,
She's
okay,
not
this
only the
she's
fitness
onto something.
doctor, everything producer. She's also a health doctor.
Literally, I could have a whole side business if I wanted to. That's how many people reach out and are like, listen, I need to understand how this works or that works or whatever. Like, it's really like people don't have the information out there a lot of times, especially in the Black and Brown community. Like, we're not
Mhm.
taught a lot of those things. We're not taught about
Um,
anything when it comes to nutrition and fitness. Most people in urban centers are living in food deserts.
Right.
Cheap food is made, you know, is killing people because it's all fake and it's chemicals and but it's cheap and it's easily
And it's
accessible. So
accessible.
yeah,
yeah.
so that's part of the problem with a lot of things. And then you're just not taught these things as a kid to, you know, have the apple or, you know, as opposed to Cheez-Its or something. That you're not taught about trans fats or any of the things that are in there. You don't the people don't even realize that the first ingredient on the box of anything is what's mostly in there.
Right.
Mhm.
People don't understand servings. Like a lot of times when I'm talking to people, educating them on things, I'm like, okay, you want to have that soda, it's a bottle, but how many servings are in it? Let's look at that and look at how many grams of sugar are in there. And then once you break that down and they realize, okay, this bottle has 30 grams of sugar per serving, if there's 3 servings in the bottle.
Mm.
So you're about to take in 96 grams of sugar in one
Hmm.
pop.
That's a lot of deep sugar. Had to plug that one in.
That was a good one.
Okay. Okay.
I
But it's just
can't
even
help
simple
myself.
things like that. Like even understanding simple things like that could change people's choices and they
Right.
would they were armed with information, they could make better choices.
Mhm.
And that's what's been the disparity for the urban community, I find most of the time.
No,
Absolutely.
totally, totally, totally. But you know, you've created so much for us. You've done so much for the community. I mean, you're teaching us right now, you're teaching all of us about how to live, how to stay healthy, how to do all of this, you know, and we're so grateful that, you know, you came on our show as well. We do have, I know we've been talking a lot of stuff, but before we do wrap up and we look ahead on what's ahead for you and all that stuff, we do have like a little segment that we like to do. It's called
Okay.
the moment of joy. And the moment
Hmm.
of joy is whatever's going on in your life that you're grateful for, that has inspired you. And we would like to start with you giving us your moment of joy, and then me and Rashid will also give you our moment of joy and our community and our podcast and our listeners. So, what is the moment of joy for you?
Oh wow! I'm very lucky to experience a lot of them, a lot of them. But I think in most recent times, over the last couple weeks, um, one that's really resonated with me would be I'm actually grieving the loss of my baby brother right now, who passed
Mhm.
away in the first week of September, suddenly.
That's not-
Um, and my community has been so amazing in its support and reaching out to me, and just making
Mhm.
sure that I am supported, that I'm loved, and I've been traveling because I had gigs that were already tour dates that were already set up. I didn't, I'm not one to kind of leave people hanging if I can help it. So I was still navigating in between all of the devastating things that had happened at home and the aftermath of that was still being on tour. And every city that I went to, I have, friends and community there most of the time. And
Mhm.
those people, every single time, whether I was in the UK, whether I was in Ibiza, whether I was in, wherever, my people all stepped up to make sure that I was taken care of because they knew the job that I had at hand was to step on stage and to bring joy to people.
Mhm.
But I was going through my own personal turmoil. But in that moment, even for the crowd in the UK, which was like the first gigs, I had two gigs that day when I found out that my brother had passed away that
Oh
morning.
wow.
I had two gigs that afternoon. So I was already like, had to be up and moving and in costume literally like 4 or 5 hours after I had found out.
Mhm.
And I stepped on stage and there was so much love and joy. And these people had no idea at either of these gigs and these festivals that I had to do in the UK that night. They had no idea what my personal turmoil was. But there was just so much love and so much joy and so much energy that came back to me that it just really filled my soul, and it really fortified me in a very, very sad point in my life. And then once I stepped off stage, my personal community embracing me and making sure they had my
Mm.
back. um, those
Mhm.
UK gigs, like my friends rode in like the cavalry. You hear me? Like
That's
they were like, "We
amazing.
gotta get to our girl. Like, where is she?" You know what I mean? Like it was severe, and I
Oh,
so appreciate that, because I've always been like a really self sufficient kind of person. Like I'm always like the one in charge, and it was nice
mhm.
for those to be able to count on other people to just hold me up to make
Right.
sure that I was good. And then when I got home to my personal community here in Baltimore, and I did the rooftop for last month for September's rooftop, um, it was a week after my brother had passed. So everyone in that community knew very well. And some people actually knew him and had met him before.
Mhm.
And I played a very gospel laden set intentionally.
Mm.
And when I tell you the spirit was in the building on that roof,
I'm
it
sure.
was seriously transcendental. And I was
Right.
Mhm.
playing those songs for me because it was
Mhm.
what my soul needed. But when I looked out on the crowd, I saw people just really going inside. And there were tears from people out there that it just took them to places and things that they needed to work through or things that they were, issues that they were having. And there was such a level of community, but there was a frequency that we reached
Mm.
that it's just so special. Like you can't box it, you can't explain it. You have to just be there to get it. And we were already on a rooftop, but I tell you, we could not get higher. We could not
Right.
get higher on the music. It was a beautiful thing, the way that my family, my Deep Sugar family, the people that came, there were actual blood family members there who never come out, and they were just there to support me and be a part of the situation. And then my club family, my Deep Sugar team and family, there was just so much love in the room. And really, like, if you can take just a piece of that and spread it out to the rest of the world, like, this thing
Girl,
would be so good
girl, for
Yeah.
everywhere.
real.
Yeah.
For real. You said a lot, and so grateful for. I lost my brother 18 years ago, and every time I listen to music, I'm on a dance floor. I'm always
Hmm.
like, "Hey, I know you're right there. Like,
Hmm.
you, you're right here with me. I
That's
feel
right.
you. I feel you with me all the time." And then I would just step out of somewhere and I will hear his name somewhere. His name was Andres.
Hmm.
So I will hear his name, like someone will say it, and I'm like, I know you're here. I've always
Hmm.
known you're always taking care of me. Always knew
Yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
know your brother looking down on you, taking care of you deeply, deeply.
Oh, absolutely. I have absolutely no doubt. No doubt. But I
Mm-hmm.
was, even in that moment of extreme sadness, there was joy. There
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful, beautiful joy in the tears that were being created from people on the dance floor, letting go of whatever it was. It was just raising the vibration so amazingly.
Amazing,
That's
amazing.
awesome.
I know for me, the moment of joy is, and I know sometimes it's you being here. I'm sorry. This is like the happiest moment right now for me. Like that I am still in awe that you're here with us. I cannot tell you, I don't want to cry, but
It's
I'm going to
okay. We
cry.
already did the crying disclaimer at the beginning. We're
Right.
good.
Girl, let me tell you, like, this is a labor of love. Like, you know what labor of loves are, and I am just gaining is a labor of love, and it's been 4 or 5 years, and the fact that I'm here right now with somebody as amazing as you, such an iconic person, that
Thank you.
you said yes to coming to see us, and I feel like that's all just predestined. That this is the right moment at the right time, like you said, in the right place.
Hmm.
So you're my moment of joy this week. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And we're still here. I'm still making records. I got new stuff coming out.
Yes, yes, we love
Lots
it.
of and
Love
catalog
it.
stuff. There's some catalog stuff dropping actually. My Brass in Pocket single, which was actually the first track that I put out in 2003. It was the first time that I was completely independent. So that was my
Mm.
guinea pig into the
Mhm.
completely independent world. And so it came out on vinyl only. So now it's coming out fully digital on the 24th of this month. That's very
Yeah.
exciting, for the people that didn't get to experience it that first go round on vinyl to now get to experience it. We are planning on releasing quite a few others, New Kind of Medicine, Full
Mm.
Package, and some
Yeah.
others. Yeah, some others from my catalog. We just released How Deep Is Your Love, which was a remake that I
Mm.
did of the Bee Gees classic. That was done for their tribute album. The label had done back in the early 2000s also, and they had commissioned, the pop stars of that moment to all do a track for that album, and I chose
Mhm.
How Deep Is Your Love. So it came out in that context, but a lot of my fan base missed it because it wasn't like a proper Ultra Naté release. It was part of an
Mhm.
album compilation. So we've released
No.
that. People can go and check that out as well. There's so much music out there. A lot, obviously Free is like my biggest commercially
Mhm.
selling record that has impacted around the world in such a way that it's resonated through the years. But I'm most proud of in this moment of having such a large body of work that really shows what I've done with
Mhm.
my career, with the opportunities that I've had with um, my voice in terms of the who I am and what
Right.
my speak is and what my thought process and what I can contribute to the world and building my purpose. And so I'm most grateful for that. And that's really what sustains me through all of this.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, so before we let you go, I'll share my moment of joy, which is, the moment that we actually get to release this episode. I am just anticipating what it's going to put into the world, into the community that we have been building bit by bit over here at the I Am Just Game podcast. And truly, just as Hernando said, also having you say yes and, witnessing from our standpoint, like what intentionality can get you. I mean, we've been doing this with intention and purpose and authenticity, and this is what happens when you do that and you do it
Absolutely.
consistently. So we thank you so much. And yeah, I am bringing my mom to the Deep Sugar on Sunday, so I cannot
You
wait
are
to
fabulous. Okay,
it
Mom,
is
come on.
it's going to be a surprise for her. It's her birthday month. She celebrates the entire month.
Okay.
And yeah, I just
She's an
cannot
October
wait to
baby.
witness it.
What's her exact date?
The 10th, October 10th. Yeah.
Okay, nice. My mom is also an October baby.
Oh, awesome.
She's a
Awesome.
little later, 21st. Yeah.
Good deal. So yeah, so
That's
those are my
awesome.
moments of joy. And yeah, we really appreciate you. And as I said earlier, sawabona to you as well, because we see you. And thank you for seeing us and being a part of this episode with us. So yeah, with that, we are done here. And again, thank you so much. And we wish you all the best on your continued journey and continue to take
Thank
care of
you.
yourself.
And we
I
will be
will.
seeing you for sure. I'll see you in
We'll see you
Miami.
on the dance floor. Yes. On
Girl, I'll see
February.
you
Oh, put it on your calendar.
in-
February 28th is the next
Yeah.
DC date.
Okay.
Oh,
Just so
okay.
you know.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
at
to
Flash.
DC. Okay, I'm going
Yeah.
to DC. That's gonna be the fun
Yeah.
time. And you'll see
In
me out there in
Miami,
the
I'll let you know about Miami as soon as
Let me know
it's,
about Miami because I'll show up for you. I'll show up anywhere. I promise.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So this has been I Am Just Gain, and we are out.
Thank you, guys.
That's another chapter in our love letter, y'all.
This episode sparked something in you. Share it, tag us, and slide into our DMs.
Because this space only grows when we grow together.
Thank you for listening, for laughing, for loving out loud.
We'll see you next time on I Am Just Gain, a love letter to all of us.